Hi guys, it's Paula and I hope you are doing well. This is going to be a belated update for Pan in Every Palette. This project was originally spearheaded by Lady Pans a Lot. There's different versions of a Pan in Every Palette project out there. This particular group is one that Lady Pans a Lot over on Instagram got together. But you can find one version or another of this project everywhere in the project panning community. And there's a reason why it's so popular. It's really hard to pan an entire palette, but it's a lot more manageable to hit one pan in a palette. I have been tracking my pan percentage for a couple of years now. I am trying to increase the overall amount of palettes I own that have one or more pans in them. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. It's a long road ahead of me, but the goal is to eventually have 100% of the palettes I own with pan in them. That would be amazing. So we're going to talk about that in just a bit. I am working on 3 palettes at a time in this project in particular, but obviously throughout the month or in between updates, if I do hit pan in other palettes, that gets added to my pan percentage as well, and I discuss it in these videos. So let's start with the 3 palettes that I've been working on for quite a while in this project, some longer than others. I will say that usually in these updates, I don't have much going on with the 3 palettes that I'm working on, but all the pans that I'm hitting from one month to the next are in other projects. This month, all the action I have to talk about are from these 3 palettes. I have not hit a single pan in any other palette that I'm working on since my last update, which was April 9th. So we're talking 3 months now, right? May 9th, June 9th, July 9th, almost 4 months. We're getting really close to 4 months since the last time I updated you on this project. I apologize, but all the action's on here and nothing's been going on with any other palette that I'm working on in any other project, unfortunately. So let's start with this guy right here. This is my Faced Dazzleberry palette. And it's one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes. I'm really glad I bought this palette. I'm really glad I put it in this project and have had a reason to use it. I'm a little bit sad that I didn't get the pineapple one, but we're moving on with life because that's in the past. I feel like I may have hit pan on this palette in the past month. I've used this palette 10 times. Which if that was just 1 month's progress, that would be amazing. Of course, we're talking like almost 4 months, so 10 times isn't that amazing. And I've really been buckling down on this actually just in the last couple weeks. I've been wearing it a lot, almost every day. And so let me show you where we're at right now. Here is what I'm currently looking like with this palette. The shade that I intended to hit pan on is this one. This is an amazing, oh, it looks like liquid metallic. It looks like liquid metal. It is amazing. But I think the shade that I've hit pan on is this one right there. Can you see that little spot right there? I think that might be pan. I don't think these are pressed right into, I don't know about all of them. I think some of them might be pressed into a metal pan. Others might have like a plasticky grid that they're pressed on because of the formula. And I'm going to keep this in for 1 more month because I'm not 100% sure, but I think I hit pan on this. Ironically, I haven't been tracking my usage on this one at all. At first, I was really just focusing in on this shade. And so when I started working on this one, I didn't track my usage because it really never occurred to me that I would be hitting pan on this shade. So, yeah, no, I never tracked. So that's kind of ironic because I think this is a shade I'm going to have hit pan on. I definitely think I'm extremely close to hitting pan on that amazing shade as well, but I don't think I've hit pan yet. But I don't know. I think that's pan right there, close to the edge. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this in for 1 more month and get, hopefully by this update next time, I will have solid confirmation that I've hit pan in one of the shades in this palette. I wish I would have tracked my usage on that pan, but of course, it doesn't matter whether I hit pan in the shade I was focusing in on or not. A pan is a pan and I'm taking it. So I'm going to keep this one for one more month, but I don't know. I think that might be pan right there. We'll see. I have been using both those shades together for an eye look that I've been doing a ton. I had every intention of filming this video yesterday, and I was wearing that eye look, and it didn't happen. And now today I'm wearing a totally different eye look that doesn't involve that eyeshadow. But basically what I've been doing is I take this deeper shade and apply it kind of to the outer half of my eyelid first, and then I go in with this metallic-y pink shade and kind of apply it to the inner half and kind of layer the two shadows on top of each other. And then I love this dusty pink, but I have pinks that are in my Better Together e.l.f. 100 pan palette that I use in my crease and transition area to blend it out. And then on my lower lash line, I use the greens from my Pan That palette, similar to what I have going on with this eye look. I mean, this has pretty much been a go-to arrangement for most of this year, is the lightest matte green on my inner corner and the shimmery metallic green on my lower lash line. So whatever I put on my lid, I tend to put that on my lower lash line. So we're going to keep this in for one more month, but I did use this 10 times since my last update, and I pretty much used both of those two shades every single time that I used this palette. The next palette that I'd like to talk about is my Morphe 35F palette. I brought this in because I was looking for easy pan, and it turns out it wasn't as easy as I thought it would be. Let me explain. First of all, this is another situation where the pan I thought I was going to be working on ended up not being the pan that I hit, but I did hit a pan. It ended up being this shade up here. I think you could see it right there. The pan that I had chosen to hit pan on was this, and I love that shade, and I've enjoyed it many, many times while it was in this project. But this was just such a beautiful shade. I mean, I really fell in love with the shade. It makes an amazing inner corner highlight. It's a very pretty, it's almost too shimmery, too blindingly shimmery to be a brow bone highlight, but I loved it on my inner corners. It brought so much light to the inner corners of my eyes. It was like really transformative, and I liked it very much. I would love to put that shadow in a project to pan completely down the road. So don't let me forget that, because I will. But I thought I was going to be working on this amazing kind of warm chocolatey brown shade. I thought it would be perfect in my crease, and it is. It's beautiful, but I could quickly see that while I was using the two shades kind of together, a dip was forming in this one, and this one looked brand new, use after use after use, and I thought, no, I got to go for this one. Like I said earlier, I had put a Morphe 35 pan palette in this project early on. I mean, I've been doing this project for like 4 years or something, but the 35O matte palette was in this project a long time ago, and I ended up hitting pan on a matte shade. Obviously they're all matte, on a shade in that palette after 24 uses. And I thought, if I could hit a pan in 24 uses and roll this out, that would be perfect. It ended up taking me 51 uses to hit pan on that highlighty shade. So that just goes to show that, like, I guess I cannot make any assumptions when it comes to project panning, because I thought, you know, okay, the other one took 24 uses. This one, you know, somewhere between 20 and 30 uses, give or take a couple. No, 51 uses to hit pan. I mean, that's like more than twice as much, twice as many uses. That's crazy. I was shocked by that. Regardless, I do officially have pan in this palette. It is rolling out of this project, and something will be rolling in to take its place. And this is one more palette with a pan in it. So very exciting. All right, the third and final palette that I've been working on in this project is this old Sephora, The Beauty of Giving Back face palette. This is just a beautiful palette. I love to look at it from the outside. I love to look at it from the inside. I was working on an ombre type bronzer in this palette. I enjoyed it very much, but it was a lot more pigmented than I thought it would be when I rolled it into this project. And then a couple months ago at my introduction for the Graveyard Project pan, which runs from April 30th until October 31st, I rolled in another shade in this palette. This is going to be a spoiler for that update, which is going to be coming up really soon in the next couple videos. But here is what this palette is looking like now. Look at that. I definitely have a pan in this palette. It is not the ombre bronzer that I thought I was working towards. I did end up using this shade. Let me count how many times I used it. I did end up using this bronzer shade 41 times, which is pretty good. I mean, it got some love, but I hit pan in this cream blush shade so fast. And I've been using it almost every day since hitting pan in this palette. And of course, because it wasn't part of this project, I wasn't tracking my usage on it. I have no idea how many uses it took to hit pan. It was basically a brand new pan of product, maybe had been used once or twice, but it was pretty new. And yeah, look at that. That is a lot of pan. I cannot put it down. My goal for this pan in that project, in my graveyard project pan, was just to hit pan. So, I mean, I've met my goal on it for this project. I've met my goal on it for the graveyard project pan. I'm still reaching for this almost every day. I mentioned this, I think, in my Partners in Cream update, but I'm working on a couple of different cream blush products right now. There are 3 in total. A kind of very old cream stick product that is like a multifunctional pink product that I'm choosing to use as a blush. Very, very faint. The Mascara Beauty blush that I'm working on in Partners in Cream. Very, very faint. And then this one, which is very, very pigmented. And so what I've been finding myself doing on most days is dotting this like right on the apples of my cheeks and then blending that bright pink shade out with like one of the 2 more subtle pinks that I'm project panning as well. And that's been working out pretty well for me. I like the way my blush looks. But yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this because it's about halfway gone now, which, wow. I mean, at this point, you know what I'm thinking. I gotta finish it. And I would love to get to these 2 as well. This is a very bold shade. That's not gonna be easy. But yeah, I've really enjoyed panning this palette. And unfortunately, I wasn't tracking my usages on this, but I doubt it was even 41 uses before I hit pan. But I did use this bronzer shade 41 times while it was in this project, and I enjoyed it very much. But like I said, it was a bit more pigmented than I imagined it to be, and it would have taken me probably 120 uses or something to hit pan, and it would have taken me a long time to hit pan, a lot longer than I originally thought. While working on this palette in this project, I also found that this peachy blush and this highlighter are both amazing products. I wanted to reach for this highlighter a lot, and I really shouldn't because I have other highlighters that I'm supposed to be project panning and finishing up, but it was hard not to reach for this highlighter from day to day because it is so stunningly gorgeous. And this, again, same thing with this blush. I loved it so much. I thought it was absolutely beautiful, but I had to like refrain from using it because I have other blushes I'm trying to finish this year. And so I definitely think I'll be pulling this palette back out again, you know, before too much time has passed so that I can get back to working on it. But I have met my goal on this palette for this project, and it will be rolling out, and I'll be rolling something in to take its place, which is super exciting. Okay, let's jump to the 2 palettes that I'm rolling in. Obviously, this is staying in for 1 more month, even though I think I hit pan on it. I had so much, I felt like in the end, I actually had pretty good luck with the system that I have going, so I decided to keep it going. So I've brought in another palette that has a cream blush in it. This is my Balm Joy. This is my Balm Joy palette from the Balm. I have seen this on Instagram and YouTube so many times over the years. So many people have project panned it. Mine is basically brand new, even though it is very, very old. It has not gotten nearly as much love as I wish it would have. But yeah, there's these 2 cream products down here. And obviously with their age, I probably wouldn't put them on my lips at this point. I don't know if I ever would have really put them on my lips, But yeah, I'm looking to use them as a cream blush, and I'm looking to replace that Sephora blush in my routine. I might play around and, you know, mix them up and, you know, mix and match and see which one, but I'm guessing the one I'll be hitting pan on is the lighter one, just because it would probably be easier to hit pan on it. And then I could have a pan in this palette as well. I don't want to say that, you know, I have any intention to explore the powder products in this palette, but it would be really awesome if I could find a couple of days here and there to play around with the other powder products in this palette as well, because I mean, these shadows are kind of like cult favorites in the beauty community. I've had this palette for years and it's basically untouched, and that's crazy. That's very crazy. I shouldn't be doing that. So we'll see what happens, but my focus is going to be on one of the two cream pans. The more red one is called Vanilla, and the more pinky one is called Millie and Vanilla. By the way, fun fact, back in junior high, which would have been the years 89 to 91, something like that, 1989 to 1991. I think I was in 6th grade in 1989 and 8th grade in 91. The boy bands were really popular. The boy bands were making a scene, and my classmates were going crazy for New Kids on the Block. Like, you know, everybody in the world was. But me and my friend Wendy were anti-establishment. Even back then, we're like, we're not going with the grain. You all could have your New Kids on the Block. We're going with Milli Vanilli. And so I don't remember which one was mine, but one of them was mine and one of them was Wendy's, and we each had one of us had Millie, the other one had Vanilla. I don't remember who I had. I don't remember who she had, but you could imagine how disappointing it was when we found out that they had been lip syncing and that the actual singers of those songs that we were singing our heart out to were sung by people who looked very, very differently than Millie or Vanilla. So yeah, I will never forget that. I cannot think about Millie or Vanilla without thinking about that story, because it's like so ingrained in me. Also this summer, I had an opportunity to go to a New Kids on the Block concert. I don't know if I told you guys that, but my friend had extra tickets and she's like, hey, you want to go? And like I said, I wasn't a big fan of New Kids on the Block, but it's a part of my childhood. Like, I vividly remember like girls crushing, and I've seen a lot of my friends from school on Facebook like going to New Kids on the Block concerts and having a blast. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll go. Why not? Turns out I really only know like 3 of their songs. Like, I really am not a New Kids on the Block fan. And I appreciate those guys. I really enjoyed watching the show, but I was just kind of like, meh, like, this isn't the music that I was listening to on repeat in my bedroom during junior high. I was listening to Milli and Vanilli. So, and a bunch of other bands, but I was never the biggest New Kids on the Block fan, but I had a lot of fun going to their concert this summer. Fun fact. So anyways, long story short, this is rolling into this project. Shut up, Paula. You could tell when it's been a while since I filmed because I talk too much. Okay. And the third palette that's going to be rolled into this project is going to be another one of my Morphe 35 palettes. This is going to be the 35E. Chic Geek made me buy it way back in the day. Way back in the day. Chic Geek totally made me buy it. She used to post looks on her Instagram years ago featuring this palette, and I just thought, wow, those shadows look amazing on her. I want that palette. And then I saw this on Haute Look and I snapped it up, and I haven't hit pan on anything. It's basically brand new. I've used a couple shadows, but there's a lot of shadows in this palette that I have not even touched once. And yeah, I am curious to know if it will take me more like 51 uses to hit pan in this palette, or if it'll be more like 24 uses to hit pan in this palette. These are all shimmers. The shade that I took 51 uses was a shimmer. The shade that took 24 uses was a matte. So I'm guessing this might be closer to 51 than 24, but that's okay. I have no idea which shadow I'm going to be going for, as much as I would love to choose one of these purpley shades right here, because I've been definitely craving purple hardcore in my makeup, and I don't feel like I have a beautiful purple to project pan right now. I feel like I can't really justify putting a beautiful lid shade into this project right now. Like, I have lid shades for days. I need to pick something quick and easy, like another brow bone highlight. So I might just go for another brow bone highlight. I think the entire top row basically could be a brow bone highlight. This last one actually, it probably will work, but it looks a little bit dark. These two look maybe like they're a little bit dark for brow bone highlight. They might work. Like I said, I've never even used really any of them, so what do I know? But yeah, I don't think I'm ready to commit to one specific shade to hit pan on at this moment in time. Hopefully by next month, I will see a dip sticking out and I will know which palette or which pan I'm going to go for which pan in this palette I'm going to go for hitting pan on. But yeah, I'm definitely, if I could just pick anything, it would probably be like, you know, one of these three right here, because that's what speaks to me. I am very excited to be working on this palette though, and it's long, long overdue. All right, so those are the three palettes I'm going to be working on. Another Morphe palette, Balm Joy, and Faced Dazzleberry for one more month. I think that's going to be the last month. Let's move on to pan percentage. This has become my favorite part of these updates. I love doing this. So I kind of feel like with there being such a large amount of time in between my last update, maybe something more should have happened, but it is what it is. That's all I can say. Like, this is what happened. Maybe it should have been more, but I don't know where all the pans have been. I haven't been hitting a ton of pan. I think I'm close on a couple. I'm looking at some eyeshadows that I'm putting on from day to day, and I think I am very, very close to hitting some pan. But what I have are those two palettes right there. This Sephora palette and the Morphe 35E palette. No, the 35F palette. Those are the only two palettes I've hit pan on since my last update on May 9th. The only other significant change that I've had is that I used up a palette. So my little Sephora, no, it's not Sephora. My little e.l.f. shimmer palette, the 4-pan cream shimmer palette, is finished and out of my inventory. So the big changes are that my overall amount of palettes that I own went from 388 palettes to 387 palettes because I used up an entire 4-pan cream highlight palette. And so that's out of my inventory. That's gone. I'm down to 387 palettes. And then my palettes with pan have gone up from 42 palettes with pan to 44 palettes with pan. So those are the two big changes. So as a result, my pan percentage definitely went up this time, which is great. So at my last update, my overall pan percentage was at 10.8%, and today my pan percentage has gone up to 11.3%, right? Yes, 11.3%. Yes, we're up to the 11s, which is super exciting. It's always exciting to go up to another number. Like I said, probably should have been more, but it's not. This is what it is. So my pan percentage is officially now at 11.3%. And like I said, there's always like those pans on the horizon. Like, I see them. I know that they're right around the corner. But as of today, as of the moment I'm filming this, they're not here. But that is this update. I am so excited to have some progress in my pan percentage. It really has remotivated me to keep working on hitting pans in these palettes. Despite the fact that sometimes I hit these little slumps, the pan percentage is really what keeps me going, and that's good. I mean, as a project panner, you got to find some form of motivation to keep you going when the going gets tough. And this has been highly motivating for me to see that pan percentage slowly go up. How long will it take me to get to 100%? A long time, a very long time, but that's okay. We're just taking it day by day and month by month. So that is it for this update. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.